Well, this is Mark Cooper then, pre-Forest Green away to Newport on Saturday. Mark, first thing, you're here and not in Barnsley.
Yeah, I think that probably comes from the fact that I was offered that job a couple of years ago now when I was at Swindon. And yeah, but nice, like I say, that was then. I got a job to do at Forest Green. I'm enjoying it, looking forward to it.
And you go to Newport off the back of 3 home wins in a row. Is the task now to just take that form on the road?
Yeah, we need to try and now put sort of 2 results together. You know, if we can do that, then we give our points tally a real boost and keep the momentum rather than sort of winning one, losing 2, and winning one. So we need to certainly try and put a couple of results back to back together.
What's not been happening right for you in away games, other than sort of the things out of your control, like refereeing decisions? I know you've been unhappy with those, but what can you as a team do more of?
We've been really tiny margins. I think the Swindon game was a real level game. We definitely deserve something out of that. The Carlisle game was another really even game. We didn't get the rub of the green there. And the Exeter game, we were really, really good in the first half. We could have easily been well in front, and the second half we weren't as good. So it's been small margins, and we have to try and put that all together now and do whatever we can to get a result.
And you're playing against a side who've got a Wednesday to Saturday turnaround. You know all about those from last week, so you know a bit of pressure on Newport, especially if you know there's still a little bit of Wembley excitement in those legs of theirs.
Yeah, they've done great, haven't they? You know, brilliant achievement for Mike there and the players to be able to get to that stage of the FA Cup and take Tottenham as close as they did. And you know, I thought they were good last night. They pressed really high early on and were really on the front foot. But it's inevitable with a team of squad of Tottenham's quality. They're going to get you somewhere in the end. And you know, it turned out to be a long night for them. But I'm sure they'll really enjoy the experience, and I'm sure they'll get plenty of rest time between now and the weekend. And their focus will be, I'm sure, trying to get in the playoffs. So we're not expecting anything different than a fully motivated Newport County.
Yeah, I suppose their manager will be telling them that Saturday against Forest Green is more important than Wednesday against Spurs.
I'm sure he was. You know, they're only sort of a couple of wins off the playoffs, and or a win and a draw, whatever, off the playoffs. So I'm sure that's where they're looking, and rightly so. But listen, you're not going to go anywhere and get given anything. For not 1 minute do we think that because Newport have played Tottenham on Wednesday, it's going to be an easy day for us. It's going to be quite the opposite.
Do you feel that the January signings are beginning to bed in now? And I suppose results helps that process as well, doesn't it?
I think that's always been the plan, that we could get them in and hit the ground as quick as we could. So there is always going to be a period of adjustment. But I think the boys that have come in have shown in glimpses what they can bring to the rest of the squad. And we've not really been out of any game, since they've been here. We could have possibly got results in all of them.
As they get better bedded in, can you do a little bit more? Can you ask a little bit more of them tactically?
A lot of our work has been tactically to try and show them what it is we do and what we're about, because every other club is different. So it's important that we do it step by step. We can't do it all at once, and it's all about getting a result on a Saturday and trying to make sure we stay in the league.
Obviously, you switched to 4-4-2 last weekend. How big an adjustment is that for the players to have to make?
Well, I think everybody's been brought up playing 4-4-2. I think when you're kids and when you go into your first sort of adult football, everybody plays 4-4-2. So I think they all by default know that system. And I just looked at it and thought that with the pressure we were under, and with the strikers we had, it probably made common sense to try and get a few more balls in and around the box for Christian and Ruben and Grubby and Alex Bray to feed off, and that's what happened.
I suppose in a way the personnel you've got in the team at the moment sort of lends itself to that system, doesn't it?
Well, we brought in a wide player with that in mind of it to be a change in system. We brought in Alex Bray, knowing that it was a really quick, aggressive wide player, knowing that we could play with a wide player. And obviously Grubby played most of his games at Western-super-Mare as a wide player. So we knew we had that facility there to use, but it came probably quicker than we anticipated.
Two final questions from me. Training ground, have you been able to sort of get out on the grass a little bit, or is it still sort of snorkels and masks?
Yeah, we've managed to get on today. We've managed to get on some grass today, and it's gradually drying out with sort of dry cold week we've had. So we've been able to do a little bit today for certain.
And injuries? How's the squad?
Yeah, we're okay. We're in good shape.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mark, when you look back to the game here against Newport, 4-0, it was probably a real low day for everybody, but your team's changed quite remarkably since then. I think if I looked at the team sheet then, there's probably 4 players from that team that are likely to start on Saturday.
Yeah, I think the interesting point going back to that game was the week before we played remarkably well against Accrington at home. We got beat, but we should have won. Played really, really well, and we were sort of really confident. And then we went into that game and we got beat up really physically. And Newport are a really good physical team. They do what they do really well. And I think now we've added a bit of physicality with what we've brought in, so it enables us to compete on that level.
Was the Newport game then the moment where you thought, I need to make changes to the squad?
Well, it was difficult because it was such a long way away, but you're looking at the more experienced players sort of in and around that squad at that time to try and give us a lift, but it didn't quite work like that. So we had to try and get players ready to come in January that were ready to play and ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah. What threats will Newport bring to your team on Saturday?
Well, they've got some really good players. They, Josh Labadie, I think, is an outstanding prospect or an outstanding player. Frank Newbley's had a new lease of life since he's gone there. Robbie Wilmot. They've got some really good players, and throughout the team, centre half on loan from Brighton's an excellent player. So it's not like that they've just got a load of so-so players. They've got some really good players, and the manager's given them a real energy, which he's carried on from last year. And I think they've been a breath of fresh air for the division.
Yeah. How important to morale was last Saturday's result, getting out of the bottom 2 and beating a team like Coventry?
Yeah, to do the double over Coventry, of course, is very, very refreshing, and it gives everybody a little bit of a buzz and a spring in their step this week. But like I said earlier, you have to try and put back-to-back results together, whether it be 3 points or 1 point, just to get a little run going together and put pressure on the teams below and above us. So the last week was certainly a good occasion for us. We played well, but I thought we fought even harder, and we deserved to win.
And your new players have gelled. You said they needed to gel quickly. They have. They look like a team already.
Yeah, I think that if you've got a sound base to build from, like at the back, then it gives the other players a chance to flourish. And we've not had that yet. But we've been really leaky at the back, which has put pressure on the boys in front of them and put more pressure on Doidge to have to score every week. So now we've brought Touchwood, Gavin and Farrand and Hayden in. They've given us a real solid base we'll always feel as though we're in a game, that we're not going to concede loads of goals. And if you do that, then the rest of the team get a chance to step up and flourish.
There's been a lot made of Newport's pitch over the last few years. I think it's slightly better this season, but will that affect your style of play, your approach?
Listen, people talk about philosophies and style of play. You have to play what's in front of you. Now, if we go to a really poor pitch and decide to play total football out from the back, then you're asking for trouble. So it's horses for courses, and we're looking for the players to make intelligent decisions. But if you have a rugby team that plays on a football pitch, you know what's going to happen. But we have to deal with that, and Newport have done it really well this year.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.